Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I hope you're all having a good day. It looks really nice outside. I can't wait to go outside later. By the way guys, if you hear my noises, it's my neighbors upstairs. They've been making so much noise since last night. Okay, the weird thing, I never hear anything. And all of a sudden last night me and Ziki were up late and I just started hearing literally it's so loud, can you hear that? It's so fucking loud. Anyways, so if you hear them, I'm sorry, ignore it. So as you could tell by the title of the video, today's story time is gonna be kind of funny. I'm not in any way hyping up edibles. I'm grown, I can do whatever the fuck I want. You know, I'm not 15 anymore. This was years ago. I was 14 years old. But this isn't me encouraging it. This is more of a lesson, because that is exactly how I look at it. This was a lesson. I have told this story on my channel before, but I deleted it not because of the story itself, but only because to be honest, I just didn't like how the video came out, so I deleted it. Okay, but today I'm retelling it, and last night I wrote down a list of all the story times I want to tell you guys, and I also kind of wrote down a draft on exactly what happened that day, just so I don't mix up what the fuck happened while I'm filming right now. So this is as accurate as possible to the friends I went to school with. If you guys are watching this, I'm sure you guys remember. It was really fucking embarrassing, but okay. Get your snacks, whatever you want.
Let's jump into the story time.
This was years ago, and back then I was hella stupid. I didn't know shit about shit. No matter how much you think you know, you don't know shit when you're 14, okay? You don't know shit. I don't care how hard you think you are. I don't care if you think you know everything. You don't know shit. No offense. No offense. So this story takes place when I was 14 years old. I was a freshman in high school. And you know, like everybody else, I'm just trying to find myself. I'm just trying to figure out what I like, who I like to hang out with, what I want to do, what I want to wear, what I want to do on the weekend, like shit like that. You're finding yourself. You're trying to figure out who your friends are, what you're into, like stuff like that, right? Like everybody else. Before I took this edible, I had only smoked, actually smoked weed twice, and those both times I didn't even really get high. I think for two reasons. One, because I had never smoked before, so I don't even think I was smoking right, and two, I only took one or two hits, so there you go. Around this time, I'm not using this as an excuse, by the way, at all. There was a lot of shit going on at home with my parents. You know, those of you who know me know my parents are divorced. They've been divorced since I was 15. So around this time, there was just a lot of drama and shit going on. I'm not gonna get into detail because it doesn't matter. But I think I was just, you know, when you're young like that and you have a lot of shit going on, you try to find an escape in anything. I didn't mind going to school. I liked hanging out with my friends and everybody, but I always had trouble with my teachers. Back then, I'm gonna be straight up, back then I was a little asshole sometimes. I would talk back to my teachers a lot, but not on purpose. Not just because I wasn't that little bitch that was like, I don't want to read this, I don't want to stand up there and do that. I wasn't that student, but I stood up for myself. My teachers were assholes and I was just stressed the fuck out. My parents are driving me crazy. My teachers are a bunch of assholes. I was just so over it, right? So I had a friend who used to have edibles and all that, right? You know what I'm saying? Okay, so I used to have a friend that used to have all that stuff, and so I was like, hey, I'll buy one off of you, and he was like, cool. I bought one off him, and when I bought it off of him, he told me specifically, hey, I just want you to know, you're really little and they're really strong. This shit's no joke. This is the real shit right here, you know what I mean? And he just told me, he's like, when you take it, have you ever took one before? I said no. He was like, okay, well, don't take it all at once, and sometimes it takes a while to kick in, so just munch on it, maybe just eat half. And I was like, okay. I buy it, and then I walked back home because we lived really close to each other. So I walked back home and then I put it in my little hoodie pocket, right? And then I went inside and I like didn't even acknowledge my mom or my dad. I just went right upstairs, put it in my school backpack, and I closed it. I was like, cool, whatever. I wasn't sure about when I was gonna take it. Like, I don't want to take it at home because like, what if they notice? So I decide, a brilliant fucking idea, right? I fucking decide,
Oh, let me just take this to school tomorrow and eat it there.
so I can't take myself serious. Make the smart choice to fucking take this edible to school. And that's exactly what I did. The next day comes around and I take it to school. It's in my bag. Like, I have it covered with like paper towels and a Ziploc, and I thinking like it's gonna cover the smell and shit, right? So I have it deep in my backpack, and you couldn't really smell it. Like, you could only smell it if you open the bag. So low-key, every time I was in class and I would open the bag, like, you could smell it because it smelled like weed, obviously. I'm gonna be honest right now, I don't remember my school schedule at all. I tried to remember. I don't fucking remember. I had PE. That's all I know, is that I had PE. So I go to PE and I don't remember if it was first, second, third, or fourth period. I don't remember, but it was the one before the period before lunch, if that makes sense. So 2 classes before lunch. I go to PE and we're all in the locker room, and I had this one friend that I hung out with in school mostly all the time, and her name was, I'm gonna call her Patricia, okay? So me and Patricia hung out inside of school all the time. Like, she was my homie, so we would eat lunch together. Like, we had PE together, so we would walk the mile together. Like, we was homies, okay? I'm in the locker room and I like change and everything, and then I go up to Patricia. I'm like, hey bitch, like, I just got this edible. She was like, what? I was like, so and so told me to not take it all at once though, because it's really strong. And she was like, oh, for real? I was like, yeah. So I'm like, yeah, so we gotta take it slow. I'm like, where should we eat it though? Because if we take it out here, like, it's gonna reek and everyone's gonna know it's a fucking edible. Like, so we're like, okay. So we go in the gym. You know how they have like all the locker rooms, and then like towards the back they have like the bathrooms. Like, 2 funny ass little girls, we go into the bathroom and we kind of like waited till it was kind of empty, and we go in the stall together and we just started munching on that shit. And so we go outside and we start walking, and it's probably like 15 minutes already has gone by since we ate it, and we're both like, damn, I don't feel nothing. Like, I really don't feel shit. We go back in the locker room. Patricia had already, like, she had, I think because we were getting ready to leave, and she had mentioned, she's like, dude, I don't feel nothing. I was like, me neither, but like, we had ate half of it, so keep that in mind. We ate, I cut it in half, and that half, I cut it that half in half, and she ate half and I ate half, right? So we didn't feel nothing. PE's over, everyone's leaving, right? So I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna just eat the rest of it, like, fuck it. So I go into the stall and I took that whole fucking rest of that edible by myself. After I ate it, I was like, well, I hope like it works now. If it don't work, well, fuck it, just don't work. I wasted $15, right? I get my shit together and I start going to class. Now, the second class I had was called Freshman Studies. It was a weird class. In this class, we talked about like life. To be honest, I don't even remember what the fuck we did in there, but it was a weird class. This teacher was hella cool though. He was a coach. You know, the teachers that are coaches are always like the cool ass teachers, right? So he was hella cool, and so everyone in that class always got along. We always had so much fun. Like, that class was really dope. This particular day, we were taking a test. We were writing reports, okay? We were writing a fucking report, or like a fucking essay, or some shit like that. We were writing a fucking paper. Out of all days, we didn't do shit in that class. And out of all days, he makes us write a fucking report. I was like, oh, great, cool. So I didn't feel high yet, so I was just like, oh, whatever. So I'm in class and it's quiet as fuck. Like, we were good students in there, so it was just quiet out of respect because we were all doing our reports, right? I started writing it, and then I want to say like the third sentence, as I'm writing, My hand just kind of felt like it was floating. Like, I didn't feel like I was holding the pen. I didn't feel like I was holding anything. And I started noticing, what the fuck? I can't feel my hand. And then I was like, what the fuck? Like, it felt so weird. I start realizing I'm like losing my train of thought as I'm writing. And I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, I think I'm high. Like something's weird. Like, it was just the beginning. Girl, it was the beginning. Everything looked like it wasn't like I've never been on like hardcore drugs, like fucking acid or anything, so I don't know if shit actually moves like that. Shit wasn't, I don't want to say shit was like moving. The room kind of looked like it was like very slowly like this, like going sideways. And I started looking around, and my head, I felt so fucking dizzy. I was like, what the fuck? And at that moment, I knew I fucked up. I'm trying to get through class, trying not to act fucking high, and as soon as I realized I was like high as shit, I was like, okay bitch, get your shit together, just act normal, you're fine. I'm trying to calm myself down. By the time class was over, I was so fucking high. I was high as shit. I was so fucking high. I walked out of the classroom, and by the way, this classroom was right outside of the quad area where we would all eat lunch outside. So as soon as I walked out that room, the sun ain't ever been so bright in my whole fucking life, man. I walked out and I was like, what the fuck? I was walking normal, but it felt like the floor was going like this, okay? And I was like, what the fuck? I really started tripping out. And this is where the story gets crazy, okay? So just make sure you got your snacks in hand or whatever the fuck you need, because it's about to go down. So right away, me and my friends always met up at the same spot. I see Patricia, and I go up to her and I look at her eyes.
Her eyes were red as fuck.
I was like, it just hit me, and I feel fucking weird. Like, I don't feel normal right now. I don't feel okay. And she was like, just chill, like you're high as fuck. Now Patricia had already had her fair game, had her fair tries of smoking and eating edibles, and she was getting, she used to get drunk a lot. Like, I wasn't like that. I'm not throwing shade at her, okay? I don't care. I'm not that type of person. I don't give a shit. But I just wasn't, like, I was scared of stuff. I was so scared of trying stuff, mostly because I was scared of my mom, okay? She wasn't tripping out, like, and she didn't eat. Remember, I had cut it in half, and we both ate the other half. Okay, so we each had half of half, and then I ate the whole other half. So I'm looking at her, and her eyes are red as fuck, and I was like, my eyes, I couldn't even open them. And I start telling her how I'm tripping out, and she honestly wasn't really paying attention. And so I start walking towards my other friend, and I see my friend Mandy. So I start walking towards Mandy, go up to her, and I'm like, dude, like at this point I was fucking gone. And I start freaking out because my heart, I start hearing my heartbeat, and I feel it, and that shit feels fast as fuck. And I was like,
Lord, do not let me die like this, because my mama's gonna wake up just to kill my ass again. Like, do not let me go like this.
So I started getting paranoid as fuck, you guys. I'm talking like fucking paranoid. So I started low-key tripping balls. We're at lunch and everything, the floor looks fucking weird. At this point, I feel like I'm drunk because everything is just kind of moving like this still, and it's just getting worse and worse. And I feel like every time I look, like there's just like too many things going on at once. Like my eyes are just going everywhere at once, and I'm just like, what the fuck, right? So I'm tripping balls. My friend Mandy's like, are you okay? I was fucking high. So I tell him like,
dude, like I ate an edible and like fucking tripped. I swear, like I don't think I think there was something more in it. Like, I don't think it was just weed.
I swear. I swear to God, you guys, I started thinking, what if weed wasn't the only thing in this fucking cookie? Because I feel like I took fucking some weird shit because I was tripping, like tripping. I couldn't, like, the noise in the background sounded weird. My eye vision wasn't at its best. Everything was just fucking weird. And then me and Mandy Mandy starts walking me around because she sees I'm freaking the fuck out. So she's like, come on, Myra, like, let's just go walk around, like, let's just, like, I'll get you to relax, chill the fuck out, right? So we start walking around in circles. Where we hung out was like a wall. We called it the wall. That's literally what we called it. And if you keep going behind the wall, like, there's like steps, and then you go behind the wall, and it's like the gym is in there. So we're walking in circles from the wall to in front of the gym and like that. And I'm like tripping the whole time. Honestly, I don't remember a lot of the walk, but I remember just seeing Mandy and like that she was holding me the whole time, you guys. She was holding me, like we were clung on like this, and I was just trying to act so fucking normal, and the floor was just being fucking weird, and the noise was just a lot, and there was so many people, and it was tripping me the fuck out, and I just couldn't handle it. So then I look at her, and because my heart was okay. So those of you who don't know, I got open heart surgery when I was a baby. So you can see my scar right here, and it goes down like all the way to right here. But anyways, I got open heart surgery. I'm fine now. I'm perfectly fine. It left me with a murmur. I still have it. They told me I could never be like a professional athlete or something, but whatever. I don't even like working out, bro. Like anyways, so because of this and my heart when I was high as shit, it was just beating so fast, I thought that I was gonna die. I'm really gonna die. My heart is just not gonna handle it, and it's just gonna stop right here, and everyone's gonna be like, Myra died by eating a fucking edible. Like, and I was literally, I thought I was gonna die. I was high as shit, and I started having a panic attack, and Mandy was like, calm down, like, you're okay, like, just relax. And we go back to the wall with all our other friends, and I'm like, you have to call my mom, you have to call my mom, like, I don't feel good. I'm just gonna go home, just call her and just tell her that I don't feel good. Like, that's what I said. I was like, just tell her I don't feel good. And so she calls my mom. I don't remember if it was her or someone else, but someone called my mom. I don't know what the fuck they told her. But then minutes go by, and I forgot that I told her to call my mom. I fucking forgot. And then they get a call, and Mandy answers, and guess who it is?
My mama.
So Mandy answers the phone, and my mom's like, I'm here. What is going on? Where's Myra? And so she's like, Myra, your mom is here. And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, well, you told me to call her. Like, she started freaking out, so she came to pick you up because she doesn't know what's wrong with you. And I was like, no, like, dude, like, fuck, like, why did you call my mom? And she's like, you told me to fucking call your mom, right? So at this point, Mandy's like, bitch, what the fuck? I started tripping. I was like, fuck, my mom, like, she's gonna kill me. So I'm like, I have to act normal. And so Mandy's like, I'm gonna walk you to the office before she starts fucking, like, reporting it, you know, to like the whole fucking school that you're missing or something. We start walking to the office, and I'm still like grabbing onto her, and we get into the office, and at this point I was in the fucking sky. I was higher than the fucking stars. I was high as shit, okay? At this point I was just getting higher by the minute. I see my mom standing in the office talking to the deans, the vice principals, the securities, the like, just everybody, right? My mom's talking to fucking everybody. I walked in looking so fucking high, and my mom looks at me, and she's like, oh, there she is. And they all turn to me, and they're like, what's going on? Like, where were you? What's going on? Your mom's here. Like, she's worried. And my mom was like, what the fuck? Like, what? Why did your friends call me? Like, what's wrong with you? And I was so high, I couldn't even talk. I don't remember what the fuck they were saying. All I remember is my mom looking at me and saying, what's wrong with you? And I looked at her, and I was just like,
I don't feel good.
And she was like, what do you mean you don't feel good? ¿De qué me hablas, Mayra? ¿Qué quieres decir con eso? And she got closer and she looked at me. She's like, ¿te tomaste algo? She was so mad. She was like, ¿qué chingados te tragaste? And I was like, I just don't feel good. And so literally, like, the deans and my mom grabbed me and they started walking me to the nurse's office, and they sat my ass down. Right here is where I remember seeing the securities, the ones that were on their bikes all the time, the school campus. I see the deans, I see everybody just in the fucking surrounding me in the nurse's office. And the security starts flashing his light in my fucking eyes, and they're like, yeah, she's on something. Like, they knew I was on something. So they start asking me, what did you take? What did you take? I didn't say shit, okay? I didn't say shit. So I was like, I don't know. Like, I just kept saying, I don't know. I just don't feel good. Eventually, they told my mom, they're like, we don't know what she took. Obviously, we can all see that she's on something. So I think your best bet is to take her to the hospital. My mom freaks out even more. And so we get in the car. I don't remember getting in the car. I don't remember the drive. All I remember is getting to the quick care on Charleston and Nellis, okay? I remember sitting in the doctor's office and he starts like looking in my eyes and he starts checking my breathing and whatever, and then he leaves. And then I remember he comes back and he's like, so like he started talking to my mom about what was going on, like what I was on, and he was like, honestly, I can't run those type of tests on her, so you're gonna have to take her to like a real hospital. I don't know why I thought this was so funny, but I busted out laughing. Mom was like, de que chingados te da risa? My Spanish ain't 100, okay? Why the fuck are you laughing for, basically? And I just remember we got back in the car and we went to the hospital. I don't remember that whole ride, but I do remember waking. I don't remember the ride. I don't remember getting to the hospital. I don't remember shit. After we left quick care, it was like a total blackout, and then I woke up in the hospital bed. I opened my eyes. I realized I'm in a hospital bed. I look and there's like an IV in me. I look to the right and there's a nurse, and she's like, her back is facing me, she's doing something, and then I'm just waking up from being high as shit, okay? So then I slowly look to my left and my mom was sitting in a chair next to me and she's looking at me like this. She was just staring at me like that, and I was like, man, I fucked up so bad, like fuck. So then the nurse notices I'm awake and she turns around, she's like,
hey, sleepyhead.
and then she looks at my mom, she's like, so we just got the results back. You have nothing to worry about. It's just weed. She's like, I bet you're hungry, huh? Hell yeah, I was, girl. I had the munchies like a motherfucker. So she gave me a chocolate chip cookie. And I was like, oh great, another cookie, right? So then we leave, we get out and everything, and we're driving home. And she's just lecturing me the whole way home. Why the fuck would you do that? What the fuck were you thinking? Like, you don't fucking think at all. Like, she just went off on me. She's so mad. I'm gonna send you to an all-girls school. I'm gonna send you to a Catholic school. I didn't even say anything. Man, I was just like, I'm gonna just shut the fuck up, because she had the right to be mad. So I was like, I'm just shut the fuck up. And then she calls my sister, like, how do you feel? We heard what happened at school today, and like making a joke out of it. I was just like, fuck you guys. And they're like, so how do you feel? I was like, man, I'm hungry as fuck. I just hear my sister, she got the munchies. So then my mom, she took me to Chipotle. She knew I had the munchies. She knew I was fucking hungry as shit. She took me to Chipotle after all of that. So then fast forward the next day at school, and they call me up to the office and they're like, okay, what the fuck happened? I want an explanation. I didn't tell them shit. So they were like, all right, we're gonna have to RPC you for a few days. So I wasn't going to school, and my mom knew, and I couldn't go back until we went to go meet. Me and my mom went to go talk to the dean. Finally, the day comes where we gotta go talk to the lady. So we go talk to her, and it's just me, my mom, and her, and we're in a room, we're in her office, and the door's closed, and she's like, So what happened? Where did you find it, or who gave it to you? Like, what's going on? So I made up a whole ass lie because I didn't want to snitch on my friend. I didn't want to snitch on my friend, so I told her that I found it on the bleachers outside, that it was wrapped in a plastic thing, that it looked like the ones they give at school. It didn't have a label, it was just a plastic thing, and it was in there. And I was like, I thought it was a normal cookie, so I ate it. That's why I started getting so scared, because I didn't know what was going on. She knew I was lying, and she kept trying to make it come out of me, and she was like, I mean, it's not a good enough story. So because she didn't want to just take my answer, like she didn't believe my story at all, she was like, all right, look, I'm gonna suspend you for another week because like you're lying to me, and because of what the fuck you did, right? So they suspended me for lying, and then they suspended me for consuming illegal substances at school and all that bullshit, right? So then she was like, oh, by the way, Zeke woke up, so he's right here. She looked at my mom, she was like, you have to take her to drug classes every Wednesday for a whole month. My mom was like, oh, I'm gonna take her ass, like, right? So it was mandatory that I had to go, because every time I went, they had to like sign something, and I had to take it back to the dean, and like so that she knew that I went. I had to go to the fucking drug classes with my mom every Wednesday for a month. Everyone in there was in there for the same reason. Everyone in there had gotten high at school or some shit, right? For the first time, they were all at Rancho, and then after that they sent us to like this other place. I don't remember what it was. It was weird. It was like a whole building, and then they had like a patio, and it was kind of like a rehab. I swear to God, I feel like I went to rehab, because we would sit in a circle and everyone would talk about why they did what they did, why they abused drugs, what drugs they did. Everyone in there, acid and like fucking weird shit, popping pills. This is the first time I got high as fuck, and I'm in here. But yeah, so that is the story about the time that I ate an edible at school and I started tripping balls. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. More of the story, just be careful what you do, be smart about choices, hang out with your friends, you know, go to parties, do fun shit, but don't do drugs at school, okay? That shit was crazy, and yeah, it was pretty wild. It was pretty wild. I'm glad I didn't throw up. At least a lot of people throw up. If you want to know if I ever took another edible after that, the answer is yes. But I waited till I was like 17 to take another one, because by then I knew what to expect, and the other times I actually had a lot of fun. But I'm not encouraging it, okay? I'm not encouraging it. I was older, I knew what the fuck was going on, and I didn't take it at school, okay?
Don't fucking do drugs at school. Just don't do it. Just don't do it, okay? Just wait. Just wait. Just wait.
I hope you guys enjoyed the story time. I hope it was kind of entertaining. I hope you learned something. Thanks again, guys, so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I need you guys to subscribe and support your girl, okay? Because we could do big things together, but y'all need to support me. I'll see you guys in the next video. I don't even know what I'm doing.